Hi, I'm Michaela. I am the owner of Days of May Florals, and I'm back today for another floral design video. We are in the month of September, right smack in the middle, zone 7B, and I mention that because we are using local flowers. This is for the little local floral design series that I'm doing. We did skip a month. I'm a human. I had some personal things going on, fertility wise, and yeah, that's a whole other story. If you ever want me to get into that and how the journey of fertility and trying to start a family and also working with flowers and working in the event industry, how that all goes and what that's like, I can make a whole separate video on that. But for today, we are focusing on the local flowers we have from, once again, my friend Priscilla, who owns Anchored Roots Farm here in Southern Maryland. And you guys really liked the bouquet video, so I figured why not do another one of those. Yeah, so we'll do that today. And the flowers that I do have, it's just a few. I had gone over to the farm yesterday just to walk around and get my eyes on a few things because we have a wedding next week, and I've ordered things with that farm, but I'm looking for very nuanced color details, so I wanted to go there and just have a look at things. But that said, we have just a few little flowers here to work with, just colors that I went home with just to take some photos of and get a better idea and make sure we're on the right path for next week's wedding. So yeah, so we'll make a bouquet, but this will be definitely smaller since we don't have a ton of product, but nonetheless I think we can do something really airy and fun, and so I think it'll be a good exercise to see what we can do with less, basically. So first up here we have this Sweet Annie, I believe it's called, and this is something that I think just kind of grows wild and takes over out in the fields. It has a really nice, hence the name Sweet Annie, really nice sweet scent to it. So using something like this in a bouquet or anywhere else or at a wedding, I think would be really nice. So we've got that. We've got one of my favorites here, the Quickfire hydrangea. And it's getting that antiquing and some crispy bits, but that's okay. Still very pretty. So we've got these two things going on. And then over in this batch, we have a few different Lysianthus varieties. This Roseanne Brown, a cream color, white, some more peachy tones and peachy pink, a Shasta daisy, some allium, which I'm loving, and they're not overly fragrant. Typically they'll have, it's an onion, so they'll have an onion smell, and these don't right now. She said when she cut them they definitely did, but not right now. If they did, I would not use it in a bouquet. And then just some grass. One little piece, again, just a few things today, but I think we can make something really pretty. And of course, zinnias in here, and these are, I think they're all in the queen lime or queen lime varieties. But these are the colors we're looking for next week. So you can see these definitely have brown undertones. They're not super vibrant or intense, and I think they blend really well, you know, with all of these other colors, so nothing is very jarring. This Roseanne brown is a little deeper, but I think once it's mixed in with the Quickfire hydrangea, the Quickfire will help bridge that gap there. Yeah, so got those things going. All right, so to start with making an airy bouquet, one thing that I really look for is having some sort of full, this is a perfect example, almost like a cage, almost like those Holly Chapel egg cages, things that you could use natural, like a flower, that act as a cage for you to stick stems through. Something like this is really going to be helpful when making a bouquet and trying to make an airy bouquet, because this will be our base. So we've got that, and I do want to experiment and use this, but I'm obviously not going to put this whole thing in there. So what I'm going to do is just strip off majority of these. It smells so good. And you can see it has a very like limey citron kind of a color. Really nice and light and kind of just glows in the sun. So we'll start with that. Then we'll add in and just, we're gonna cross them. We're gonna add in our Quickfire. And I'm just letting these be loosey-goosey in my hand here. And again, we're gonna make a posy because we've got just a few stems and we've got very short stems. But I tend to like to cut my bouquet stems fairly short anyway, so I think this will be fine. So we've got 4 items in there total. We've got that Sweet Annie in the middle, just kind of floating around, and then the Quickfire, just jangling around in there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this longer one, that way I can actually hold it close to me and design. Then I'm going to start adding in some flowers, or some focal flowers or accent flowers. I'm going to start with the biggest ones we have here are some lisianthus. So I'm just going to start sliding these in. Love this color. Interesting structure on that one too. And almost has like an iridescent quality to it. I'm gonna leave this guy longer for now, but we can adjust if needed. And this has a little bit of browning on it. You can just rip that off. I mean, the leaves are so fluffy. The petals are so ruffly, and anyway, if you were to rip that off, no one's gonna know. Sometimes I'll have to do that, you know, right before I deliver a bouquet, just kind of assess what has seen better days, what's browning, and could be cut out a little, because inevitably, especially when you're working with lighter colored flowers, things are gonna get damaged in transport, no matter how careful you are. So I'm continuing with the lisianthus. Got our Roseanne brown, and I'm gonna place the Roseanne brown close to this pink one. If I were to put it just right between the whites over here, I think it would be even more jarring, as I was saying earlier, and I just want to blend it. So you can see we've got something going on here. Well, a little sloppy, you know, but we can adjust. But at least our stems are in there and it feels good in the hand. And now you can always go back and pull things up, tuck things in further. And that is what is really great about using like a base like this hydrangea. And you know, another good flower type like this that would do the same thing, yarrow, sedum, those are all going to give you that natural cage that'll help you when you're trying to place flowers and make them look a little bit looser. Okay, we've got just one daisy in here, so we'll pop that in. Some zinnias. And the zinnias have a nice sturdy stem. So I'm gonna leave a couple of those stretched up higher. I'm not turning this bouquet. I don't really, like, yes, stems end up being generally spiraled, but I tend to do more of like a grouping, a clustering of stems, I guess you could say. And I will turn the bouquet every now and then. This one is just small and I'm not really going for like an even look all around, so I don't really see the need to turn right now anyways. And then if any stems get crossed, you can kind of just move them around and you'll start to feel in your hand if the stems feel good. You'll know, I'm sure you've been making bouquets, I'm sure you've had that feeling where you can just, even if the bouquet looks good, you can feel where the stems are just not happy. Cute, cute, cute. So in a perfect world, I would love to have at least 3 daisies in here, you know. Odd numbers. This is a strong flower visually, so having one is a little funky. I'd love to have a little bit of repetition, but this is what we have. And same thing with the allium. I'd love to have at least 3, but we don't. We have 2. So we'll just work with what we have here. But the allium are great for creating interesting line. Like you can really play around with those. I think that's kind of fun. There's grass in here. Ooh, that looks cute. I wish I had more of this pink color. I would put another here and maybe a couple back here. But that's what we're working with. This one feels a little funny. She's just a little droopy back here. Maybe up front. Again, I'm sticking this through the hydrangea. her a cut. There you have it. Cute little posy bouquet. Let's go ahead and put a rubber band around it. With a rubber band, I think I showed you this trick in the other video, but if not, let's do it. Rubber band, you can go up a stem, nice hardy stem, and go around, depending on how stretchy your rubber band is, how many times you want to go around, or how tight you want the bouquet. And then you can kind of pull these stems at the bottom apart to make sure it's nice and spaced out. So I think, I mean, perfect for a bride, but I think this would be really sweet for bridesmaids. You know, if they're all the same, or maybe each of them feel a little bit different, and then some simple dresses, and let the flowers kind of, you know, be the wild factor just on a plain backdrop. I think would be really nice. So there you have it, another little bouquet tutorial. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or suggestions, you know, I'm here to learn too. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.